gents, ladies, hey, you know that I always, I'm loud. That's the way I am. I'm very dynamic. I'm the extreme deal of what a gunner sergeant is. You understand that? Yeah. All right, hey, listen, I want to start this off by reading something to you. And you should be familiar with it. Okay, you should be. It goes a little something like this. And this is how I read warrants when I read the warrants. To all who shall see these present greetings, know ye that reposing special trust and confidence in the fidelity and abilities of so said Marine, I do appoint him or her a something, a corporal, a sergeant, or staff sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, to rank as such from the first day of whatever it is, or the second if you're meritorious, right? All right? 2000 and whatever year it is, right? This appointee will therefore carefully and diligently discharge the duties of the grade to which appointed by doing and performing all manner of things thereunto pertaining. And I do, I'm going to say that again, and I do strictly charge and require all personnel of lesser grade to render, obedience and appropriate orders. We're getting hot now. And this appointee is to observe, we're getting there, such orders and directions as may be given from time to time by superior acting according to the rules and articles governing the discipline of the armed forces of the United States of America. Okay, and then you have the signature underneath that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's very important, is it not?
Yes, sir.
I want to hit on something that some people don't really understand about that warrant. I know I got a chance to talk a little bit to you, Jeff, when you had that class the other day. But what I want to say is this. There's a part in there where it goes, know ye that reposing special trust, and confidence in the fidelity, and abilities. Well, gents, ladies, I don't think a lot of people really understand what fidelities and abilities are. So what I decided to do is I said, well, let me go into the dictionary and look up what it says fidelity is. Because I could ask you all day, what do you think it means? But let's just go in the dictionary and see what it says, right? So it says faithfulness to one's duty, accuracy, loyalty. That's deep, right?
Yes, sir.
So faithfulness to one's duty. So somebody saw fit because when you got it, right? Before you got it, it had to go through a process, did it not?
Yes, sir.
So they had to look and see, hey, look, hey, has he got his FCIs done? Is he squared away? Can he run a good PFT? All these things took part before you got promoted, did it not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So somebody saw fit to say, hey, look, this guy deserves it. He worked for it. You earned it. Right? All right, so let's roll into the ability. Somebody tell me what ability means to them. Anybody? Can you? Anybody? It's okay, there's no wrong answer.
Come
on, hardcore.
I believe that ability is being technically and tactically proficient. That's what it comes down to. It's your ability to, or your skill set basically, your proficiency. Whether or not you actually have what it takes.
How do you feel about that? Okay. Well, I looked that up too, because I wanted to go deeper. I believe I like that answer. The ability in the dictionary says to lead, guide, direct, or influence people. To lead, direct, guide, or influence people. Us as NCOs, staff NCOs, that's our job. That's our duty, to have the ability to do it. Now, a lot of people ask the question of how do I get the ability to do it? Right? That's the question, right? Because this is about leadership, right? So how do you get the ability? Well, there's two ways. Two. Some people are born with the ability. It's just in their genetics. It's just the way it is somehow. And I didn't believe it, but I firmly do believe it now. Because it's just the way it is. I believe it. There's just some people that got it. They know how to do it. Because I've seen people that suck at it and don't care about it. I've seen people that try to do it but don't know how to do it. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Now, two ways. You're born with it, or either what? Anybody tell me? You learn it. It's learned. Okay? In life, you're going to go through experiences. And through these experiences, you get skills. All right? So, through this course, you've had instructors. You've had the sergeants to guide you along the way. As we talked about before, they talked about their experiences, what it took for them to get to where they are right now, right? Well, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for me to get where I am right now. But with it came what? The biggest thing in my life that it took was the having to go through the process. That was the biggest thing, going through the process. I got a quote last night because I'm a speaker, I love to speak, but I got to be honest with you. When I talk to people, I don't just run my mouth. You know what I'm saying? I don't just run my mouth. I got to do a little bit of study. I take my time, just like the instructors do. They take their time and they research some things before they open up their sucks. That's the good and the smart thing to do. Before you give a class to somebody, you give it to somebody else, let them hear it, and then they can go ahead and say, hey, look, I would say this, because you may miss something along the way. And it's very appreciative for you to have somebody like that. So if you do, that's great. So let's go to it. What I want to talk about was this quote that I saw, and this quote was from Arthur Ashe. Anybody know who Arthur Ashe was? Tennis player. He died of AIDS, okay? And the quote that he had was, you've got to get to the stage in life where going forward is more important than winning or losing. You hear what I said? You got to get to the point in life where it's more important to fight the fight. You win or lose, at least you put forth the effort. Now, like I told you before, when I was a sergeant, you had to pull me back. I'm not asking. I'm going for it. Staff Sergeant, you're going to have to pull the reins back because this bulldog is going for it. As corporals, right, it's kind of the same thing, but you guys get in trouble a little bit easier, all right? So sometimes you have to ask for guidance and say, hey, look, this is what I'm going to do. Is it okay? You got to be careful sometimes because they'll say, just go ahead and do what you do, and you can find yourself getting in trouble. All right, so you got to be careful. But you got to be able to take that step of faith and step out sometimes. Now, there are two types of leaders. Because you talk about leaders, what type of leader are you? Are you the one that's always, are you a loose guy? And I'll get the right term for you in a second here, because I like to use the right term, so I will use it. Sometimes you write a lot of notes and you get crazy, right? Anybody ever do that? Get crazy with you? Okay, so, all right. Two different types of leaders. Okay, you got the micromanager, all right? That's the guy that he sits there and, hey, if you're a corporal Marines, you got a group of Marines, right? You always want to make sure they're on top of things. So you say, hey, listen, warrior, hey, where we at with that? Okay, and you explain to me how it's going, right? And I'll say, hey, look, that's good. Keep it going. Or you got the macro manager. He sees the big picture. He only cares about the big picture. He's not really focused on you, right? He really doesn't care. He just knows that, hey, look, he wants this done. And he trusts your ability sometimes, hey, to get it done. Now, sometimes, what's the difference between those two types of leaders right there? Anybody tell me? All right, micromanager. I think he kind of cares about, what he's doing a little bit more. Not necessarily that the macro manager doesn't, but the micromanager probably has some guys in there that's been with them for a while, and they know what they're doing, and he has trust and confidence in their abilities, so he really doesn't worry about it. A micromanager, like we as corporals, we have people coming in and out of the unit sometimes, right? So you have to be that micromanager at times because you want to make sure that whatever the sergeant has tasked you with, or whatever the staff sergeant, whoever the case is, has tasked you with, is getting done and it's getting properly done the way that it's supposed to be done, right? So you don't have any misconceptions, or you don't have any, hey, it don't hit you in the side and you're like, oh shit, fuck me. You don't have to have that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still with me?
Yes.
Still motivated?
Every day.
Alright. Alright. Some people are like me. I like to think that I have both skills. Because I'm a charmer. I know how to charm people. I know how to get people excited about things. However, I still know my job. Some of you are the same way. Some of you know your jobs, and you can still get people to learn. Remember last time I was here and I talked about different personalities. There's a lot of people, everybody's different, right? There's different personalities. There's the guy that, you know, you can tell him, hey, go fuck yourself, you know, get your shit together. You know, you can yell and scream at this guy all day. He don't hear you. There's another guy that comes up to him, hey, come here. What the hell is going on with you? And he gets it. So you have to determine, and you have to find out how to deal with these Marines. The class that you had, remember the class that you had? That class right there pretty broke it down. I like where he separated. Mentorship. Remember that? That class?
Yes.
That right there broke it down for you. That broke it down for you for days. I thought that was the best one, probably the best class you could get right there. It's the difference between that. If you could understand the difference between those two right there, then you were freaking golden. All right? So let me go into some of the characteristics, if you will, of leadership. One is empathy. Now, I'm not saying be a sucker, Marine cousin, I'm sorry, I'm late, and he's always saying the same old shit. He's a fucking liar, is he not? He's a goddamn liar. I can't take a lie. I don't know about you, but I can't take a fucking lie. I'm gonna do the best I can. You're a fucking liar. I would believe you if this was the first time. Maybe if it was the second. But the third time, I'm not gonna be a sucker. You understand what I'm saying? But empathy is when, hey, listen, there's somebody coming to you with an issue and you deal with it correctly. Now, what is correctly? I can't tell you what correct is because everybody's different. You have to decide how you're going to go about your leadership style. That's up to you. So that's one, empathy. The next one I want to talk about, consistency. Don't change up on people. As I told you before, I've never changed. And I'm not lying. I've been the same way since 1997. I haven't changed. This don't change me. It gives me different responsibilities. That's about it. It gives me more responsibility. I have to answer to a couple more people, or maybe some higher ranking people. But my attitude has never changed. I'll never let this change me. Because I was, y'all remember that class? Come on, y'all remember that class? I was this. I was this before I was this, baby. My last name, I was this before I was this. Not going to change me. Some of the things that I did in the past I don't do anymore because I've had to adjust. Remember I said you're going to meet people in your life that you say, damn, hey, yo, he's making sense here. He's a badass. I like that. And then he turn around and do something fucked up. You be like, man, fuck that guy. Not really fuck that guy, but listen, this is what you do. You take the good. Remember I said before, you take the good and you throw away the fucked up shit about that dude. You put that on as your being, and whatever you like from him, you take that and you build yourself up. That's how you build your character. You understand what I'm saying? Simplify. Direction. Direction. Knowing where you want to go. Set a plan. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? I love the Marine Corps, right? We love the Corps, right?
Right.
But where do you want to be? What is it going to take for you to get there? Then you got to ask yourself the hard question. What have you been doing to get there? Have you been doing anything? Are you just a talker? Because we can do this all day. But until we actually doing the action. Yo, I want to go to college. When's the last time you freaking filled out a freaking application? I'm going to college. You goddamn lie. 3 years you've been going to college. You ain't did shit. You ain't took one goddamn class. Shit, you ain't even took introduction. You a lying ass.